Let's talk about defund the police. We heard Tucker bring it up last night in the piece about the crack pipes that we watched. It is a talking point among the right. Here is Ryan Samuels. He's another one of those guys.
I asked Congress to provide He's
another one of those guys that's, my size content creator that I've tried to make contact with, and he blocked me immediately. So let's watch his little 2-minute video. I can't imagine how much information he can get across in 2 minutes. Let's see what he has to say about the defund the police movement.
$200 million to invest in community violence intervention programs that can interrupt violence, mediate conflict, de-escalate, and succeed in preventing shootings. Now, Joe, what happens if they start getting shot at?
What?
What do you think? Every crime is a sunshine and rainbow, and the cops go in there and just start shooting innocent people?
Amir Locke. Yes, they do just go in and start shooting innocent people. Yes, that is exactly what happens. And I could run down a whole fucking list of them. And it's not just black people. Daniel Shaver had to crawl on his hands and knees in a hallway and was shot dead by the cops. Yes, yes. The cops just go in and start shooting innocent people. It happens all the fucking time.
What if it's a bank robbery, Joe? Oh, excuse me, sir. I know you're probably from poverty, but this isn't that. Let's talk about this. They don't care. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about their feelings. They're sociopaths. They're criminals. They're going to kill you to get away.
Not all criminals are sociopaths. And I would venture to say that a lot of the high-functioning sociopaths in our society are business leaders and politicians.
This is such a delusional and distant from reality phallus argument that the left is perpetrating.
A phallus? First of all, I think he means a fallacious argument. A phallus argument. A phallus argument. He means fallacious argument, but he just created a straw man. Jesus fucking Christ. Right-wingers are morons.
And it's like these people have never been in any danger in their entire life. So therefore they think there's no danger in the world. That they grew up coddled and everybody got a trophy and everything was fine and their whole childhood and their whole life was all peachy keen, and the only problem they have is that they're a boy but they want to be a girl, or the only problem they have is somebody bullied me, somebody called me a bad name. Those are the problems.
You blocked me on Facebook because I made fun of you, you stupid fuck.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Yes, I do.
They didn't grow up in violence, most of them. They never seen a war, never seen a mass atrocity, so they think that the entire world is their experience.
Remember, we had the commenter the other day that said he was a Fed, that he just got back from deployment, and that was his argument. That I didn't know how the world works after I shot down every single thing he said with facts. He's like, well, you just don't know how the world works.
And they're wrong. They're wrong. Hashtag abolish the ATF. Just saying. Throwing it out there. I don't like those guys. Don't trust them. Never have.
Yes, abolish the ATF. Abolish the NSA. Abolish the DHS. Abolish the FBI, the CIA. Abolish the fucking cops. Yes, cops aren't even in the top 10 most dangerous jobs. The number one killer of cops in this country is COVID. The number 2 is car wrecks. And cops in this country kill more people in a year than every other industrialized country civilians, kills more civilians in a year than every other industrialized country in the last 10 years combined. Ryan Samuels, you are a moron. Now we're going to go to a opinion piece here. I tried to go find the data myself, and I just didn't have the time. From a few days ago, this is Market Watch. Opinion by Miriam Aroni Krinsky. It does have citations. I want you to know that it is an opinion piece. Tough on crime laws and mass incarceration, waste tax dollars, and don't make us any safer. Instead of trying to prevent crime, these anti-change forces seek to stoke the flames of fear and place the blame of rising crime on others. Their largest target is the reform-minded prosecutor movement, exemplified by the prosecutor in San Francisco. Opponents to reform are doubling down on a singular drumbeat, pegging sensible justice strategies as the cause of rising crime and promoting a finger-pointing narrative that is increasingly out of touch with reality. These dynamics are fueling efforts to recall Boudin in San Francisco, which voters there will decide in June. But these issues and underhanded tactics are not unique to the city of the Bay. Across the nation, law enforcement unions and others are claiming that new thinking backed by data and science is fueling an uptick in crime, completely ignoring data reflecting no connection between cities where criminal justice reforms have been implemented and an increase in crime rates. In fact, in many places led by reformers, including Boston, Kansas City, and Dallas, homicide rates have actually declined. And while there's been a concerning rise in crime in some communities, these figures still remain notably lower than the high point reached during the 1980s and the 90s. I showed that chart last night. Violent crime rates. This is, God, I can't see the y-axis here. This was back in the 90s, and I think it went up to 2018. Those seeking to blame reform and reformers for recent crime increases also conveniently ignore the unprecedented societal challenges the U.S. has been facing. The COVID-19 pandemic has upended the social fabric, economy, and community supports that are all critical to violence prevention. It also brought record sales of guns. 2020 and 2021 saw the most gun sales in American history, with close to 43 million firearm purchases. Despite this data, some critics of Boudin and other DAs seeking to change past paradigms continue to argue that more cops, more prisons, and more people behind bars is the only way to address a rising tide of violence. Yet none of these strategies have been proven to prevent crime or address the underlying trauma and other factors that too often result in violence. Instead, what's certain is that these policies contributed to the U.S. earning the dubious distinction of the world's highest rate of incarceration. I saw a lot of people saying that China will lock you up, and I had to point out to them that China has 3 times our population, and we have a higher number of people in prison. While tough on crime proponents push for more police, they remain eerily silent on the reality that police solve very few of the crimes that are on the rise. In 2020, just half of all murders in the U.S. were solved nationwide, and the number is even lower for rapes and burglaries. I said they have an abysmal solve rate for violent crimes, and if you just look at non-violent crimes, it's in like the teens. Cops are useless. Matter of fact, I would venture to say a lot of cops are out there committing crime.